just want you all to know that I had 2 reading vlogs planned for March, aside from my monthly vlog. It is the beginning of March. This is just one book. I know it's 800 pages long, but maybe I can get through this book faster than I'd be able to get through these 4 books. So if anything, I would be able to have at least 1 reading vlog come out this month if I couldn't get to both. I want to kick my past self in the butt. Hello there. My name is Mackenzie. Welcome back to my channel, and thank you so much for being here. Today, we are going to be doing a reading vlog of the Folk of the Air series, plus How the King of Elfhame Learned to Hate Stories. So I am going to be speed reading these. I am going to take up my whole first week of our spring break, and we are going to read these bad boys. This is like a booktube darling I have not read, and quite frankly, I'm a little upset because I'm all about weird fae creatures, and he has a tail. Get out of my face, I'm so excited. Okay, so I really know nothing about these books. I know there's Jude, I know there's Cardan, I know they hate each other. It's basically enemies to lovers. This is like where everyone got the like hold the knife to my throat and tell me you love me like or hate me something. You know how weird it gets? Yeah, this is like the baseline. This is where it came from. So I'm kind of excited. I hope it'll be good. I'm trying not to have too high of expectations for these books because that's what ends up happening, right? We all have big expectations because we hear so many good things about it, and honestly, it could end up just letting us all down. But I love these books. I got them in these I got it in this like Barnes & Noble box set edition. The box is falling apart, but it does keep them in pretty good condition. We have no end pages, which does make me sad. But the covers have these beautiful, like, inlay, the gold inlay. Can you see it? It's like white on gold, so it's a little hard, but it's so beautiful. And the reason I enjoy it so much, they have a black sleeve and then they're white on the inside. This one has a white sleeve. Beautiful. Fucking gorgeous end papers. This isn't in a special edition. It just isn't. And then black. Okay? But it's gorgeous. I love it. This one also is much more of like a kid's book. Like they have drawings. I don't know if it's a kid's book based on content, but they have like drawings. It's much more of like storybook setting. So anyways, I think I'm going to start with, I'm obviously going to start with the first book. I'm not sure how much like spoilers I would get if I started with this one, but I just like publication order. That's the way I like to read things. So we'll start with The Cruel Prince. I am going to be touching base with you guys 2 times in the middle of each book before we touch base at the very end. I already have them tabbed out, so I know when to touch base with you guys. I think I have all of them tabbed out. So I'll be ready to go. I'm going to leave this video chaptered so that way you can skip around, save your spot, all that jazz. And yeah, I think that's it. So let's just go ahead and get started. I hate this. And I want you to know that I picked this one up just hoping I was going to like it. Just like out of desperation, I picked up this book hoping I was going to like something of it. And guess what? I'm here where I would have been updating you guys for the other vlog, and I freaking love it. It's wonderful. It's great. It's not an enemies to lovers. It's definitely more of a bully romance, and if I wasn't a person who was into bully romances, then I would not like this book, and I would hate that everyone pitched it to me as enemies to lovers, because that's not what it is. Who who are these characters? Cardan is a bully, a straight up bully. And like, I typically don't like a bully romance where it is male, female, and the male is the bully. I typically don't enjoy that. But Jude is such a tough bitch. Like, and she is scared, and that's what makes her brave. And like, yes, 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 loving it. So wonderful. And like, it definitely reminds me of Spiderwick Chronicles for YA with romance. And I just love that. I love that. I love that it's not just Fae, but there are also like distinctions. Like she talks about Mordok being a red cap, which is like an actual like fairy thing, like folkloric thing. And it's so cool. And I'm really enjoying this. And I'm really upset that I chose House of Sky and Breath over this. And you know why also? I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This is overhyped. And this is popular. So, in all honesty, if I was going to put out one reading vlog this month, it was going to be this one because this one is more popular right now. And quite frankly, this is like really overhyped. I don't know if it's overhyped because I really enjoy it, but it's really overdone, super talked about. Not as popular, I think, just for the fact that it's been around for a while and everyone's like, booktube and book talk and bookstagram, we all talk about the same books. And it's like, yeah, we do, but sometimes when they're good, they're worth talking about. And I'm not gonna sit here and like lie to you guys. Like, honestly, if I wasn't someone who liked bully romance, I wouldn't vibe with this. This is not a book for someone who doesn't like bully romance, because that's exactly what it is. And like I said, I will say that if you do like bully romance, but only under specific conditions, I would recommend giving this one a shot, because I typically only like either same-sex bully romance or a bully romance where it's the female being the bully, but this is the male being the bully, and I still enjoy it. I think it's really good, and I can't wait to see what happens, and this has been so interesting. And this has been garbage. Hi! So I did plan on not doing this video at all. I planned on not doing this video anymore. The last clip you saw was actually from my House of Earth and Blood reading vlog. And in that reading vlog, I took a moment to talk about how I made a grave mistake. For some reason, thought that I was going to have such a better time reading House of Sky and Breath than I was going to be reading the Folk of the Air trilogy. And I have no problem sitting here after finishing book 1 and telling you I was wrong. If you are in the same position as I was, where you are having to choose between the Cruel Prince series and the Crescent City series, choose the Cruel Prince series. Just do it. Can I just... Okay. I can't. This made me so happy. It made me so happy. It was dark and dangerous and scary and fantastical and magical and real. And there's this bully romance. I hate that people have said that this is enemies to lovers, because it's not. It's not. It's a bully romance. At the beginning of the book, Jude and Cardan has... Like, they're in school, and Cardan is, like, bullying her because he can get away with it. Like, he's the prince, so of course he's getting away with things. And, like, Jude, being a human girl in fairyland, she doesn't have the standing to be an enemy to Cardan. She's not important enough to the world for her to have as much status as Cardan does, and so she can't really be his enemy because she represents no threat to him. And I think that is, for me, I would love to say that I think that this is just the defining feature, but, you know, humans are humans, and I'll say it's just for me. The defining feature of an enemies to lovers is that they both have status and enough power over the other ones to actually be enemies. Jude has no power over Cardan. She's just there and is being bullied by him. So for this, I was almost a little bit nervous, but the way that Jude is such a badass and the way that she just doesn't take it, and she's not gonna sit there and be bullied. She wants power and she wants to be safe. And to know that she is not angry just because she's an angry person, but she's angry because it keeps her safe from her fear. ugh, it's the character development I wanted. Like, it's so good, you guys. It's so good. Okay. Did I say that there are going to be spoilers in this vlog yet? Because there will be. There will be spoilers abound. Now let's get into some. At the end of this book, oh my god, the twist. I don't know why I didn't see it coming because the next book is called The Wicked King. But in this one, at the end, she makes Cardan have a deal with her to where he will be controlled by her for a year and a day and not a minute more. And she uses that power. She says that she's going to get her little brother Oak to be the king, but he's going to be whisked away to the human world for like 7 years until he can be old enough to take the throne. Now, 7 years, Oak will be 14. I don't know if that's gonna be like any better. But like Cardan did become king at 17, so like, okay, I'll give it to them. I would have liked it for Oak to be kept at the human world for 10 years so he could be 17. But I also understand, I don't know what I'm understanding. I don't know what the timeline is because there's only 3 of these books. So what does the 3rd book end with? Is she gonna be queen of nothing? Cardan is king at the end of this book, and he's basically like, are you happy now, Jude? You got everything you wanted. And Jude's like, I fucked up. And I'm like, I don't know how much you fucked up. But then I started reading this one and I was like, oh, okay, I see where you could have been fucking up here. So basically, this is 5 months after the first book. Cardan has been king. Amazingly, we have Locke still in the picture. Like, God, fuck that dude. Also, fuck Jude's sister. Taryn sucks dick. Get out of here. Like, I was excited for twins, and then Taryn's like, yeah. Taryn is the kind of main character that would force me to DNF a book. I couldn't care fucking less. Yeah, first of all, like, how dare you? I mean, I know Jude kind of had a little bit of a thing with Locke, but that only happened when Locke started being nicer to them? I don't know. I don't get Taryn. She's just there to irritate me, I'm pretty sure. But anyways, I am like about here, and I read that earlier today, and it is going great so far. There's so much lovely political intrigue type stuff, and like, I'm excited. And like Jude, I love Jude. She knows herself. She's like, I have to be careful because I'm addicted to power, and like anything is going to make me step over the edge or do too much, because like she's kind of controlling the king, and she's like, I gotta be fucking careful because if I'm not careful, I'm going to turn into one of them. Cruel and wicked and just doing what I want, and I love her for it. I love her for it. And I love her and Cardan. They're great. They're amazing. Like, I just so cute. So at the point where I'm at, Cardan had an attempt on his life made, he thinks. We end up finding out that that is Nicasia, and she wasn't trying to kill Cardan, but basically the woman he was with. But Nicasia was like, I'm gonna be queen. My mom wants me to be queen. And Jude was like, well, the Ocean Queen, the Queen of the Undersea, not the Ocean Queen. The Queen of the Undersea is like doing some shit. She's like, I'm gonna sneak in there and I'm gonna wreck our agreement, basically. And Nicasia is the Queen of the Undersea's mom. So yeah, I'm having a lovely fucking time. I'm just enjoying all of it so much right now. I just realized I'm in the middle of a chapter, so I'm going to read until chapter 6. Then I'm going to take a break. I have some other things that I need to get done today, so I'm going to try and get that done really fast so I can return to this lovely book. This is the quote on the back, and like, I have heard that for mortals, the feeling of falling in love is very like the feeling of fear. Your heart beats fast, your senses are heightened, you grow lightheaded, maybe even dizzy. Is that right? And I enjoy it. I enjoy it so much. Balekin is in fucking the Tower of Forgetting, and he's still like a thing. And like that scene where Balekin was like, hit her, and the guard did, and Jude was like, all right, I see how it is. And then Jude fucking poisons that guy? Oh my god, like, when Jude was like, I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to keep myself under control. And I was like, oh, boo. I would have loved to see you, like, you know, be a badass. But then she was? Oh, God. I'm loving it. Stop. Why did I wait so long to fucking read this series? I don't understand. It's so good. Oh my God, it's so good. What does the underling look like? Oh, it's the undersea. Can you tell? There, that's a good shot. It's the crown and the undersea. So this is a play on the first book, where this, can you see it? That's a good shot. Which is the Greenbrier family crest, I guess, with the crown and then the tree that they sit on. The Erd tree? No, that's from fucking Crescent City. What kind of tree is this? I don't know. So it's a play on this, which I think is just so freaking cool. Look at these next to each other. That's really cool. And this one, if you can't tell, is green. And it's also like an off-white. Like, they're not the same color white. Which I would hate if they didn't have dust jackets. Oh, and I'm not really annotating this. I know I have been, like, annotating things. I didn't really annotate anything. I underlined, like, 2 or 3 spots in this book. The first one being that Vivi's eyes were cat eyes, and that she had lightly furred points of her ears. I don't know why I underlined that. But I also underlined the part... I underlined 2 parts, one talking about how Cardan would be a wicked king, or how he looked like a wicked king, which is the title of the second book, and then another part about how he came by his cruelty honestly, by being abused by his brother, for the title of this book. So I really just underlined, like, where the titles for these books came from, and yeah, that's all I've done. A 13-minute update seems enough, so I will leave you here, and I will just touch base with you. When will I touch base with you? I will touch base with you at book 2. Yeah, this book is like all the like drawings and stuff in here are like the chapter headings are, can you see? They're like undersea plants. I want to say algae, but I just don't think that that is an all-encompassing term. I'm procrastinating so much. So I will touch base with you after book 1 at the beginning of book 2, and maybe we'll read this little bit together. All right. Bye. Hi. Sorry, I've been running around. Okay. I had literally every intention of touching base with you guys when I was here. However, I read this book in one day. One day. I listened to it and I read it the whole day. You guys, I don't think I'm gonna recover. I am feeling about this the same way I felt about ACOTAR the first time I read that. How I felt like it was just so overhyped before I read it, and then I sit down and I read it, and it's a masterpiece, and it's everything to me. The characters are amazing. I can't even, okay? I saw all the lines that everyone loves and that people make memes about. Where can I put this? And that people make memes about, and like, I saw the, oh God, what does he say? Kiss me until I'm sick of it. The, just stop, I can't. Where she's like, I hate you, but most of all, I hate that I can't stop thinking of you. And I just stopped talking. Like, I can't handle it. And then when he asked her to marry him, I'm dying. Like, I'm literally dying. These characters, their relationship, it frankly doesn't work in a contemporary setting. And the only reason it works is because Jude is so almost traumatized by her experience in fairyland with other fairies and other fae, and how she just can't trust Cardan because of who he was before, because he was a bully, because he was cruel, and she just can't. And he can't trust her because she doesn't trust him, but they love each other so much, and all I want is for them to be together. And like, I knew when I started this series that at some point Cardan was going to exile Jude. I knew that was going to happen because you're not on Bookstagram without running into spoilers for a few different series. You just aren't. Half the time they don't make sense to you and you can forget about them, but I knew it was coming. But when it happened, I was like, oh my god. And then she's like, I'm the Queen of Fairy. I was like, but no one else knows. No. Oh my god, when she was in the Undersea, I was dying. And then there's this moment where Jude's like thinking and talking to herself like, what would I let them do? Is there anything I wouldn't let them do to make them believe that I'm being compelled right now? And I'm just sitting there like, my girl Jude. Damn. Like, she's a bad bitch. You want to talk about Bryce being a bad bitch? Bryce don't know shit. She doesn't, okay? Bryce walks around like a fucking idiot, and Jude over here is consistently trying to be better, consistently doing things to make up for the fact that she is a human amongst fairy. She's poisoning herself little by little. She's training. She's barely sleeping. She's eating only when she has to. Like, she does so much because she's focused on trying to make Fairyland... Is it called Fairyland? No, I think it's just called Fairy. She's trying to make this place better for people like her and to help her family, because whether she's fairy or not, the people that she cares about are fairy. And like, oh my god. It's so good. It's so fucking good. Like, I can't. I'm so upset. And then Taryn? I can't believe fucking Taryn, okay? I thought Taryn was like nothing. You know, like, I thought that she had just no right to be here. She wasn't that cool. She did nothing for the plot except to hurt Jude. And it's like, okay, everyone's here to hurt Jude because Jude needs some character development. But apparently Taryn did too. Oh my god. Guys, I need a tattoo. Like, I can't get over it. I'm not over it. I'm not gonna be okay. You guys, and it's so sad because, like, Jude sees Cardan in that, like, globe of the past, and she sees Cardan just, you know, being a kid at first, and he runs to his mother, and his mother gives him, like, zero attention, and then he goes and he, like, hurts somebody, like abuses another child, and then his mom is like smiling at him, and I'm just so sad. Like, I'm sad for Jude. Not for Jude. I'm sad for Cardan, but Jude sits there and she's like, I can't assign human feelings to him because I don't know if he can feel like a human. And it's so interesting how the fae in this don't tell lies, absolutely do not tell lies, but they are so manipulative and tricky that Jude can't trust a damn one of them. And because she can't trust literally anybody, not even Maddox, who she loves, who is her father figure, even though he murdered her parents, like, how fucked could you imagine how fucked up you would be if you watched someone murder your parents, and then they took you and parented you and were generally okay parents? Like, I can't imagine how fucked up I'd be. Like, oh my god. So fucking good. So good. There was a moment, though, where Cardan is talking to Jude, the Roach, and the Bomb, and he's like, the three of you have one solution to every problem: murder. No key fits every lock. And it really just reminded me of Six of Crows, where Mateus is like, geez, you guys are criminals. Like, that scene where they're going around of, like, how's the best way to kill a person, you know? And oh my god, it was just so good. The stuff with Balekin was amazing. And it totally sucks because, like, Cardan doesn't ask. And, like, that's the thing. They all were going to kill Balekin. Jude the roach, and the bomb all wanted to kill Balekin. So of course, when Cardan finds out that Balekin died, he's not even gonna ask Jude what happened, because he's like, well, I can just assume what happened. She just went against my wishes and killed one of my last surviving family members. And like, I can understand the pain that comes with that, and how he was just like, you know what, Jude? Fuck you. And like, because he is who he is, cruel and a bully and just not kind, he did the whole Queen of Mirth thing and allowed that to happen. But you know what? Jude is a bad fucking bitch, and she's like, you know what? Fine. Let's get naked and let's put on this rag and let's just, you know, hang out. And she was afraid that she was gonna dance forever, so she calls Cardan and is like, come dance with me. And he's like, okay. And she's just such a fucking, she's so cool. She's so cool. And she's so smart. And she's so clever and witty. And like, I can't. There's only one more book and I'm like, why? Why can't there be a million more books? I'm not okay. I'm not okay. So I am officially expecting a necklace to be coming in the mail soon. It's gonna have a crown, it'll have a dagger or a sword, but it'll be Folk of the Air inspired. Okay, so I have 2 of the original trilogy finished, and then I also have the King of Elfhame that I want to read for this reading vlog. I can't believe Cardan was nursed by a cat. Like, I don't know. Some of this shit is so fucking weird, and I think, like, I love Holly Black. I love her, and I love the worlds that she's creating. I didn't read Spiderwick Chronicles. They were read to me when I was a child, and I didn't even hear the ending of that tale, so I'm not entirely sure. Sorry, I just got caught up on the map of this is amazing. Oh my god, I love this world. So I didn't read Spiderwick Chronicles, but I do remember a good amount of like what that world was and what it felt like and how creepy it was and how it was magical, but it wasn't beautiful. You know, it's not as perfect as Disney makes it seem to be. And I think that I am much more entranced by that than I am almost anything else. The real, but magical. Magical, but make it real. Make it nasty. Make it not perfect. Make it cruel. Like, I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it because it's not tragic, but it's not perfect. It's just a little bit like, almost like a grim fairy tale, but like a little bit less. Like in between Grimm's fairy tale and a Disney retelling lies Holly Black stories. God, I just love this so much. So I know she has something coming out soon. I think it's called Book of Night. I'm not sure what that is about. I'm definitely interested in it. I think this came about a lot in the sense that the whole of the Folk of the Air trilogy is written in Jude's perspective, and I think it's done that way more so we can feel her true fear of not knowing where everyone else's hearts lie. And that is a perfect way to do that, and I think it's done very well. However, I think that there are some opportunities where, as the audience, and I'm sure as the author, you want to see how Cardan feels. And as an author, I'm sure it must be very fun to kind of stretch that muscle and be like, okay, we are writing from the perspective of Cardan, who is a cruel person, who had this trauma growing up, and everything that he does now leads you more into the truth of who he is, because his cruelty is like the honest part of him, where he's just trying to be loved. And like, I relate. I would have done anything to be unconditionally loved by my parents. And like, I think that is such an important piece of the storytelling, because if you know, and if Jude could trust that Cardan is doing and will do anything to be loved unconditionally, to be trusted, he wants to feel that, then you can trust him in some of the sense. But I don't even think that Jude can trust that, because it's a very mortal feeling. And she says in the first book, someone, I think it's the person she kills, the fae she kills. What's his name? I don't remember, but the fairy that she killed, who was Cardan's friend. he says that she is of a different species altogether from fairy. Which I'm like, that seems about accurate. I mean, the fairy have animal parts, Jude. But Jude's all like, how, like, he thinks I'm so, you know, he hates humans so much that he thinks we're a whole different species, right? But then, in The Wicked King, Jude is like, I can't even trust Cardan to have mortal feelings. And I'm like, okay, so which is it? Do you think yourself the same as fairies, or don't you? Do you, like, she is a fairy, but fairies aren't human. Right? That's how it feels. And like, I can appreciate that because of how fucked up Jude's life has been. Completely. Both Jude and Cardan have been traumatized by their childhood and their past. And it is literally the most amazing, tragic thing watching them try to be together, try to trust each other, try to have love, and try to find like some sort of peace and happiness for once in their fucking lives. And oh my God, I can't. All I want from this series now is for Jude to become a fairy or to be magical in some way. That's all I want from this. I know Jude wants it too. And like, just give it to me. Just make it happen. Like, I also need them to be together. Like, it's not going to be okay. But I know they will be, because like, why else would everyone be so in love with them? I don't know when I'm going to be picking this up because I have a few videos that I need to film right now. But as soon as I pick it up, I will let you know. I would love to touch base with you guys at about like 50 pages into this book. I would love to do that. I don't know if I will be able to, because as we saw with this one, I rush. And this is only 305 pages. So fingers crossed. I think that this is like the most basic of the inlays. I don't know what the snake represents, but like, who knows? I'm gonna find out. So maybe I'll end up loving this one. I think it's cool, the way that they draw the crowns. Oh my God, why does it feel so beautiful? Like, it just feels like a storybook. I just want to cry. Hi, coming to you very hungry right before I eat dinner because I need to check in with you before I move on. I'm on chapter 8. Ow, hello. I read a little bit more than I said I would before I wanted to update you, but like the plot was getting going and I was excited and I'm here for it, and like Taryn's in the picture again, but I'm not upset about it. Taryn and Jude's relationship to me has felt like I didn't care about it. I felt like Taryn's betrayal definitely like broke my heart because like they're supposed to be twins, but like what all do we really see of their relationship throughout the story, aside from in the beginning when they're like in the lake and Cardan makes Taryn denounce Jude basically so that way he will help them. You know, small things that are kind of cute, kind of sad. And then like her betrayal with being engaged to Locke and marrying him, and like, but dude, then she murders him, and I was like, Taryn, didn't know you had it in you. Like, congratulations, that was dope. So now we have Jude. Can I tell you that I literally screamed when Cardan recognized Jude for being Jude and not Taryn? Like, so cute. And it like, cause I mean, here's the thing. In the second book, Cardan totally mistakes Taryn for Jude. But he was poisoned. Like, so poisoned, on the brink of death. It was like unheard of to have like a good antidote for that, I'm pretty sure, right? Like, he was on the brink of death, and that's why he didn't recognize her. So it was just really cute. I felt like for him, in a normal moment, to have known Jude right away, like as soon as she walked in the door. So that was adorable, and I loved it, and I want more of it, and honestly, I'm just, like, now I have to end the story. Like, now I have to just finish reading it. And then I'll be done. And I'm broken up about it. So we have this plot with Matic. Matic, I believe, is trying to kill Cardan. And I am like, no! And Jude is also like, no! And so me and Jude effectively are trying to save Cardan. I'm so happy. I just love it. It makes me so happy to be a part of this story and to... God, I'm just being so cheesy now, but I love it so much. It's gonna be over soon, you guys. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. Okay, we need to talk. We need to talk. I got exactly where I said I was going to get. I am on book 2, chapter 17. Oh my god. So let's talk, because in this amount of pages, so much has happened. So much plot, so much excitement, and like, Sarah could never. I have also started underlining and annotating a little bit this book, more than I did the last 2 books. So the last time I spoke to you, we had we had Jude, and she was undercover as Taryn. She was kind of kidnapped, but like taken for her protection. Like, so in Maddox's head, Taryn is working with him, and Cardan just kidnapped Taryn, or brought her to his bedroom. So he like assumed that she was in danger, so he like kidnapped her from Cardan to be protected. She's been with them, and then Oriana realized that she was Jude. And she was like, help me leave. And then we realized the ghost is there. And like the reason why he betrayed her was because of Locke. And like, I love that I'm still able to hate Locke so much from the grave. I love it. I'm glad he's dead. Like, bitch deserved it. So then we get Cardan coming for her. He came to rescue her. And like, oh my god, so cute. I'm dead. I'm dying over it. And like, I would literally kill for the whole series written in Cardan's perspective. I would kill for it. However, I'm glad that there is this version, and this is the one that we got if we were going to get any at all, because we have Jude clearly not seeing the signs that Cardan is in love with her. And as the audience and the reader, we can see Cardan loving Jude, and we understand their circumstances and why it's just so hard for them to trust each other, and I'm just dying over it. Okay, and then we have Jude having to fight Maddox again, and like, oh my god, when she was stabbed? Oh my god. Oh my god. And then he was like, don't run from me, and I was like, Jude, don't run from him. You're gonna get hurt. And she did. And then like the world recognizing her as the Queen of Fairy, peak, amazing. And then she goes to like hide and like ambush the ghost so that way he doesn't kill Cardan, and he's like, this is my High Queen, obviously she was never in exile. And I was like, okay, but we all heard you say that. It's only this much left. And I see that in the back of my book I have the letters as a Barnes & Noble exclusive, which I'm very excited about. Can't wait to read. I'm not reading them out of order because, like, I don't need to. I know that Cardan loves Jude. I know that Cardan is obsessed with Jude. I know that he wants her in his life. I know that they are an amazing couple. I know that they love each other and that eventually everything is going to be fine and they will be together because they have to, because I will literally die if they are not. But I can't wait for that extra bit of a treat. And I'm not going through this, but I was kind of flipping through this, and this seems like cherry on top to like just end the series with, and I'm very excited. So my sun is going down, and also my sun. It's my sun. You're just using it. I'm going to finish this book. I don't know if I'm going to finish it tonight, actually, because I don't know if I can do that to myself emotionally. That might be something that I have to save for this weekend. Tomorrow's Friday, so I'll finish it tomorrow because I will have time to emotionally recuperate from what is happening. So I will see you maybe Saturday, maybe Friday night with tears in my eyes. We should do a reaction cam. think that I was gonna like this book, that this series, like, as much as I do, nor did I think I was gonna like it really too much at all. I thought it was going to be just fine. I was very nervous about the hype, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys. After you saw me freak out, I continued to have a freak out. For like 30 minutes, I sat there in the corner, slightly crying, not able to handle myself or the emotions I was having. Can I explain some of what happened? Okay, first of all, so I was on page 277, where Jude is with Cardan, who is a snake now. She's like talking to him, and she's getting closer to him, and she's just nervous. She says, "This close to the serpent, I can only think of the bridle sinking into Cardan's skin, of his being trapped forever. Having him under my control was such a compelling thought. It gave me such a raw rush of, and in my haste, I skipped a page, and I jumped to 280. And I was reading, and then all of a sudden Matic is there, and Nikasia is there, and Matic's like, "You've won," and I'm like, "What do you mean? What happened?" And I had already seen that Cardan steps out of the snake, and I was like, "What do you mean he steps out of the snake? The snake was whole," on page 277. So I had to go back. It kind of, not that it ruined the story, but I was more so upset with myself than I had any emotion about Cardan being alive. It was just one of those things where I was like, oh, okay, good. There is a good ending. And I'm happy about it, not only because of Cardan being alive and him and Jude can be together, but also because all it says is that through his spilled blood, a great ruler will rise. And I think that a lot of this story has been about not only Jude, but also Cardan kind of becoming a different person, a better person, not a good person, but a better person in the eyes of the fairy, as much as a better person a fairy could be. And it was just really nice that he is the great ruler, and that I did think that it was just a little bit of spilled blood. I didn't think that it was going to be so final as to be his death. So I already kind of assumed that he wasn't going to die. I was just happy he was alive. And then I didn't film this piece, I don't think. But after I read the actual story, then I went and I read the letters. Oh my god, they're so freaking cute. And I said in the vlog, I was like, I don't think I need to read the letters. I know how much Cardan loves Jude. Yes, but it's still like tears at my soul. What does he say? "Since I cannot imagine there is much in the human lands to interest you, I can only suppose your continued absence in Elfhame is due to me. I urge you, come be angry at a nearer distance." And like, after being married and everything else, there is nothing that my husband can do that would make me angry enough to not want him around. Like, yes, I will be mad at you, but I need you to stay in the house. Like, I need you to be here. You need to still sleep in bed with me. Like, I love that. And then the famous, "Come home and shout at me. Come home and fight with me. Come home and break my heart if you must. Just come home." And it's crazy, especially that, because not only is Cardan referencing home for Jude being him, but home for Jude is also fairyland and this world that they grew up in together, and that he is giving Jude his homeland to share. Not giving Jude this homeland like he has a right to say who's not their homeland if they grow up there, but like, he is accepting that it is also her homeland. He is acknowledging, maybe not in a conscious way, but acknowledging her fear that she is not enough, that she always has to prove herself, and that she has to keep proving herself that she is a part of fairyland, that it is her home, that she does care about it, that she wants to fight for it. And like, I knew he loved her, just to know the immense amount and in the ways that he did. I just, oh my god, it's another 5-star for me. I just, stop. Like, I want to cry and just sit here and be sad and happy. Few relationships make me feel this strange tightening in my chest where I'm happy and sad and it's tragic, but it's beautiful and I love it. And like, it almost makes me sad that I don't get to be with them for the whole time. It's tragic because I know their story is done. This whole story, while I would continue to read about them forever, for literal ever. This story is over. And the story is about Jude and Cardan not becoming king and queen and not taking over Elfhame or anything like that. The story is about Jude and Cardan being two monstrous people, monstrous beings, and finding a way to love each other and still be themselves. And I think that is further exemplified in this. So, How the King of Elfhame Learned to Hate Stories is kind of like a little novella. It's an interesting story. It's an interesting way to tell the story, and I really enjoyed it, and I think it solidified a lot of my feelings about the trilogy. So, this novella is about Jude and Cardan. They're going on like a mini quest after the events of the trilogy have happened. And interspersed with the telling of the events of the quest are events in Cardan's past that kind of clue you in to like things that happen in the trilogy, kind of explain some things away, but also show an immense growth in Cardan, a growing of his person. And I think that we do see that in the trilogy, but I think that it is, because it's not from his perspective, we just kind of have to assume that that's what's happening and trust. And that can be so difficult in a relationship, but to get a definitive answer for a lot of little things, this was entirely fan service, and I loved it. Like, it pulled, like, why does Cardan have a copy of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland? And how come Jude thinks it looks like the one that they had as children that she never had in Fairyland? Well, it's because fucking Vivi brought it, and instead of giving it to her sister, she gave it to the princess, and the princess gave it to Cardan, and now Cardan has Jude's copy of Alice in Wonderland that Jude ended up stealing from Cardan. There's this line at the very end. So, there's a story that Cardan is telling another character. Their name is Aslog, or a troll. Aslog originally tells Cardan the story when he's about 9 years old, and then she tells the story to Cardan again when he's a little bit older in his teens. And then he ends up telling her a version of the story at the end of their little quest. And this quote, I think, is kind of perfect. And I think it kind of sums up the dark, fantastical love, romance story that was Folk of the Air. It says, "And so the monster girl and the awful boy with the clever tongue marry, and she gets to stay powerful and monstrous, and he gets his own heart back, all because he took a chance." And like, that's what it is, right? Like, the whole trilogy, Jude is talking about how monstrous she is and how Vivi is like, it doesn't have to be this way. You can be human. And she's like, but I'm not. And that's what it is. She's not. She's some amalgamation of fairy and human. And she has to be cruel in order to not feel fear. And he has to be cruel for the same reasons. And, like, you don't get this story in real life. And I think that's where I am getting so sad from, is because this story doesn't happen in real life. I can't get over how in love I am with this series, with these characters, with this world. I can't handle it. And like, I can't believe it's taken me so long to read them. I'm so happy I've read them. I do not blanket recommend them because, like I said at the beginning of this vlog, the first book is definitely a bully romance, and unless that's something you could be into, it's just not going to work for you for a while. But, like, the characters are amazing, the development is amazing, the plot is amazing. I think that the storyline is great. I think that the atmosphere is so cool. It's scary and dark and twisted, but very much a fairy tale. It's just, like, somewhere in the middle of, like, Grimm's and Disney's fairy tale, and it's just right there in the middle with some romance, and god damn it, it's so hot and I love it. Oh my gosh! Thank you for joining me in this journey. I read 4 books for this whole series, for this video. I gave them all 5 stars. I think they're amazing. I think this really gets a 5-star because it is fan service. It's very well written. And I feel like if I wasn't like 100% a fan of this, this would probably just get about like a 4-star. But I am a fan, and it's a 5-star for me, dog. And like, even the drawings are so beautiful. It's good. It's good. Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm never gonna get over this. I'm gonna take this with me forever. I'm never getting over this. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have a good rest of your day. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye! Hopefully in the next one I will be happy again, because right now I'm sad.